Welcome to video number 4. In this video, we're going to draw on regular drawing paper, and I want to show you how to take a photograph and enlarge it to a larger drawing without using tracing paper, without tracing it. So we're going to take this picture of this bear, and we're going to blow it up so it's a lot larger, and I'll show you how to do that. We'll also get into a little bit about perspective, and I hope you enjoy this video. Okay, now we're going to try to scale this bear up to a little bit larger size. And what we need to do is we need to locate where the bear is going to be on this page. We don't want to start him too low. You don't want to get down to here and at the bottom of your paper and then not have room to finish out the bear. So we're going to start him up in here. And as you can see, I'm going to start with the head here. The head's kind of a round shape. So I'll start it right about here and I'll come around like that. Okay, I'm going to make it pretty big. And center line down through here. His nose sits just a little bit above the this arch here. So put his nose in there like that. And the eyes are just about halfway through the center of the head here. And we'll put the eyes, the corner of the eye is just in line with that edge of the nose, and same with this one. So we'll put the eyes right over in here. Darken these, darken these. And now the lower jaw just comes down below this arch here a little bit. We'll put it like that, just to start off here. And now we got, so we've got the shape of the head, roughly. Now we need to locate the back part of the bear. How far over does he come? That's where we use a compass. Now this is a pretty elaborate compass right here, but I'm sure, you know, most kids have got these. They get them in school. The simple little compass, pencil compass. And what you do is you take, and first of all, I want to measure the width of this head right here. So I'm going to take my compass and I'm going to put it right down there. And now I'm going to start at that point and I'm going to measure over. So there's one head length. There's two head lengths. And now that's about a third of a head length to the end there. So if I come over here and I measure the width of the head, and I start right there, that's one head length, make a little mark there, two head lengths, and about a third, which would be, if that's the half, a third would be right about there. So this is the back portion of the bear right there. Now we want to see how far down here the legs go. So again, we're going to put our compass right, not at the bottom of the chin, but right here at the bottom of the arch here, the circle. And I'll put it right there. And let me bring this down here so you can see a little better. Okay, and then we'll bring our compass in to where it touches the other width of the other top of the head here. So that's how high, that's how wide our head is. So then we just spin the compass around, make a mark right there. So that's one head length. And then it's about, a fourth maybe of a head length. So if we come over here and we set our compass for the width of this head, it's right there, make a mark, then we come down here, there's one head length, and now right here would be a half, so right about there would be a fourth. So that's where our paws, front paws, fit. So I'm going to draw a line across there because I know our front paws and our back paw are going to be on the same level, like that. Okay, now at this point we can start to fill in the details the same way we do with the puppy drawings. I'm going to find where the ears are. Now this ear right here comes down here just past the edge of the eye, right there. So if you go up like that, that's where this edge of the ear is. And it doesn't sit all the way up here on the top of the head. It sits just a little bit in. So I bring it in just about there, and then it goes like 2/3 of the way up here, then about 1/3 of the ear is sticking up above the head. So if I go right about, probably about in there, if I go up like that, just like that, and then it kind of comes around like this. Now the head doesn't make a perfect circle like that, it cuts across here. And this ear is just right inside there, and it sits, they're about the same height as this one, so it's like that. It comes out like so, and then it comes down like that. And then the head curves around here, comes around like that. And on this side, the head starts back here, and it kind of comes down and then around like that. Now I can put my nose in just a little bit here. I always like to get the nose in, because that always helps me locate things. Just going to shade that in a little bit. There's a little bit of dark fur right here, or dark skin, and you have the mouth. Inside the mouth is right there, and you have the teeth right here, and then you have a lower lip. Like so. And at this point we can start cleaning up some of these construction lines. Get rid of them, because they're just going to be in the way. We don't need them now. Okay. And now the neck, or the chest area, starts right about there, and it comes down to, if you figure that the distance between here and here, this is about 1/3 of the way up, so it'd be right about there. So if you run a light line all the way, it kind of curves up and right up to there, that's where your chest is on the bear. Now this leg here, this far side, comes down here, and it's about parallel with this line. So it comes down here, and then it curves straight down, and then you have the paw out here. This line is in line with the eye, and it comes down like that, and it comes down like this, and it sort of goes out into here. This paw would probably be a little higher right there. Now we want to find this line. You can see where the fur is kind of curved here, or you can difference in the shading here. This is darker, so this shows that this is part of the leg that sticks out, and it comes over here just about in line with this ear, and right about in there it comes around and starts to feather fur kind of feathers out and it curves in there. And I think this might be just a little bit, let's see, we can maybe make that over a little bit further like that. Okay, now I can take these lines out. And now we have the hump right here that's typical on a grizzly bear. That's part of the shoulder. And it starts just not quite at the halfway point, just slightly this side of the halfway point, and it sort of curves around, and then it comes around to that point right in there, and then sort of drops down like that. Okay, now the back, let me get this over here. This back hump right here is just about in line with the top of this hump. So if I carry a line across here like that, let me see, that was a parallel right there. Okay, now we know that this part of the rump right here, it starts right about there, just in line kind of with the edge of the ear right here. It goes up like that. And so it starts right about in there, and it curves up, and then at this point it starts to curve over to this point right here. Now here you can see where the hind leg comes down and it curves in like that. Well, actually it comes down like that. It's sort of blocked by a plant right there. It comes down, and it's just above this joint right here is where, in fact, we've got an indicator right there where it sort of curves in. So if we come down like that, and we begin to curve in like this, and then it almost goes straight up right here. Now this is the part of the paw right here. It's covered in the grass there, so you don't really see it that much. And then we have this part of the leg, which comes out here, and it goes down like that. Now I think this, I'm going to make this just a little bit wider right there. Okay, like that. So that's a pretty big shoulder. All right, now we've got our bear pretty much blocked in. At this point, we can start to add some graphite, shadowing, and start to build up some form. Now I won't go into a lot of detail on this because it's the same procedure that we used with the puppy. And we just want to indicate the direction that the fur is going. When we can see it, like here we can see it going in that direction. And then it starts to kind of curve around here like this way. And we are going to put in some detail up in this area. Probably just finish this area up here. Some detail in it. But then we come down here, and the hair gets kind of twisted around right down in here. Same way up here, kind of comes down this way. There's a little notch right there, and it just sort of comes down like that. And now up here on the face, the hair is very close together. It's hard to see. There is a little pattern right there, not too much. Okay. And then it comes away from the eyes and the muzzle here. Here it sort of fans out this direction. Same way with right here. It sort of fans out away from the nose. Like that. Now I'm going to shade in the ears here. Darken those. And we'll put in a darken the muzzle, and the lips, and there's a little bit darker area here around the eyes. Kind of cover that a little bit, shade in there. Some dark area down here. Same with the eyes over here. They come off of this nose up here. Same with that. Now we're going to stay away from that edge a little bit, because just like on the puppies, where the hair is real thin, the light is going to shine through there. So we want to, if we were to complete this drawing, we would put a background in here, and you just, erase some of that around there, just like we did on the puppy drawings. Okay, I'm just going to bring that around. I'm going to take some graphite on my cotton ball here and sort of blend that in, give it some value. It's okay if I come around the edge there, because over my line, because that's going to get erased out anyway. And we'll put some value in here. Okay, just like this. All right, now I can take out, I can sort of clean this edge up right here, like that. Clean that up. Get rid of this. Things are sliding around here. Now, I want to indicate some of these lines right here where fur overlaps right here, and it creates a shadow. And remember what we said in the other video, when you have a shadow like that, you probably got a highlight somewhere here too. So we're just going to indicate some of that fur right in here, some of the edges of it, and then over here, it kind of comes up into a line right there. Same with this one. These bands or rows of hair that overlap, thick fur. And like that. And now this leg right here is in complete shadow, so we're going to darken that quite a bit. Not quite as dark as the chest. We'll leave the chest a little bit there. A little bit lighter, but not much. But again, it's in shadow too. And we'll bring this down here. And darken those eyes a little bit more. They kind of bother me there. And darken that nose. And this part right here. Okay. I'm going to get this down here. Okay, and this is a little darker right through here. The fur goes that way. And soften some of this a little bit. And then we will take our pink pearl, and I want to lighten some of these areas right here. There's a little bit of an edge right there on those. Remember, if it's a shadow in there, it's probably got a highlight in there too. Okay, and we'll put this over here. Not so much. The nose, got quite a bit of light hitting that nose. Can darken this area around here a little bit more. We can get into all kinds of detail here, which we're not going to do with this drawing. Like I said, because we've covered all these techniques in the previous drawings. So I just want to okay, now this bear is sitting on this surface right here, and we want to indicate that he's not just floating around in the air, so we got to put some things around him, give him some ground to stand on, and there's some trees here in the background. So I'm going to add these two trees in. Now one kind of goes up like this, comes down like that. It's sort of a pine tree. They're kind of straight. And then this one on the back is even a bigger tree. And how do you know this one's in the back? Well, we'll show you that in a second here. But what I'm going to do is color in this put some graphite in here to darken this tree, and then we'll add some contour lines, some lines that go around and follow the contour of the tree to give you that feeling that it's rounded surface, not just a flat cut out cardboard shape. Okay, and we get down here like that, and take a little bit of our cotton ball and sort of blend that. We can even use these lines to indicate bark, because those pine trees out in the west like that have a shaggy kind of bark on them, like that. Then we can take and just do some rounded lines like that that kind of give you the feeling that this is a rounded shape. If there was light hitting this on one side, we could darken one side and gradually let it get light on the other, and that helps give the illusion of being round. But the light's not hitting that for some reason. Must be a lot of tree limbs up there, branches that are blocking the light. Okay, now this one, I'm just going to use some graphite on that, because you can't even see the bark on it, the details, because it's quite a bit in the distance. And how do we know it's in the distance? How do we know this tree is not in front of that tree? Well, one is this tree has more detail in it, so that tells you that it's closer. You can see that out in nature. You know, when you look at something in the distance, it has less detail than something up close. So we get all our detail in here. And the other thing is that this one is darker than this one. And if you lived in the mountain states, like out in Colorado, where you could look at the foothills that are close and then you look down the mountain range, you'd really see this, how the foothills are dark, trees are dark, and as you look down the mountain range, you see that the trees become much paler and the mountains become much more pale. It's harder to see that if you live in a city, but take my word for it, that's the way it is. And you'll just look at some pictures and you can find that. So this is called atmospheric perspective, when you show the lighter foreground as being lighter. The reason they call it atmospheric is because the moisture and atmosphere creates that illusion. It sort of blurs a little bit of the detail. So anyway, that's the basics of how you scale up a drawing. Now we could have made the bear this big. It would just been the same procedure. You take your measurements of the head here and figure out where the rear end is, and then you take your measurements of how big you want the head, and again do the same thing. So I hope that was helpful. It wasn't too long a video, and join me for number 5.